This is Lori with Journey with the Gingers. This video is going to be a little bit different. We're actually doing some cooking with you today. If you're interested in any of these recipes, please use the links below because I'll have them all posted. They're not my original recipes, they're from the internet, but they're healthy recipes. Because if you're like us, you've gained a little bit of weight during this time of being at home. So we have started eating really healthy at home. Actually, these recipes are what I would consider Weight Watchers friendly. I'm on the Weight Watchers or the WW Purple plan. And so they are healthier recipes, but they are family friendly. My family loves them. So they're gonna be some Crock-Pot meals, and there's also a one skillet kind of meal. And if you're on WW Purple, which is what I'm on, and you want to know how many points these recipes are, I'll put the points beside the links to their recipes. So let's get cooking, but before we do, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. And also, if you want more recipes, we'll be happy to videotape some more cooking, so just comment below and let us know. So let's get started. Okay, for this recipe, we're going to need 1 pound of ground beef. And I like to use the lean ground beef. This is 93% lean, but you can use whatever kind of ground beef you want. Also 1 large onion, 1 can, and this is the generic brand of Rotel tomatoes. This is the Walmart brand of Rotel tomatoes, but 1 can of Rotel tomatoes. It has the green chilies in it. 2 zucchini. You also need a bag of spinach, and yes, that's a big bag. This one has kale in it also, which I'll use the whole bag because it does shrink down. You'll also need some green onions to garnish at the end of your cooking when it's ready to serve. Also 1.5 cups of shredded sharp cheese and some original taco seasoning mix. And this is the Great Value Walmart brand, but you can use any kind of taco seasoning mix that you want. The name of this recipe is a 1-pot cheesy taco skillet, but it has a lot of good vegetables in it, so it's really good because I love a 1-pot meal, less dishes to clean up. So I've turned my pan on medium. I've already sprayed it with some extra virgin olive oil spray. I'm letting it heat up on medium, and I'm going to add my hamburger meat and my diced onions into the pan. And if you see, I used a large diced onion. It's a lot of onion, but it's really good. You add the hamburger meat to the pan, and you also add all those onions. So you're going to brown the ground beef with and you cook it with the onions. It gives a great flavor. And when the ground beef is brown, then you are going to drain the excess fat out of the pan, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. I'm also going to add a little salt and pepper. After you've drained the excess fat off of your hamburger and your onion mixture, you're going to add your, let's see that in there, your diced zucchini, and cook it for about 5 minutes with the hamburger and onion mix on medium. Okay, the mixture has been cooking, the onions, the ground beef with this added zucchini have now been cooking for 5 minutes. And now I'm going to add the can of the generic Rotel tomatoes with the juice and everything. You don't have to drain them. Stir that up. Next we're going to add, just a minute, the taco seasoning. And on the back of your taco seasoning packet, it tells you how much water you would add for normal taco meat. And you're going to use that same exact amount of water in this. Now we're going to add the taco seasoning. Sprinkle it all over the top. This one requires 2/3 cup of water. So whatever the packet says that you have, that's how much water you add. And you stir that all together. Stir it really good. Make sure you get it all mixed up really well. That taco seasoning is going to add great flavor to your vegetables and your meat. I'm going to let that mix, that taco seasoning mix and the water and all that, incorporate and cook for about 3 minutes. And then we'll move on to the next step. Earlier I said I was going to use the whole bag of this. I'm not using the whole bag. I don't know why I said that. I'm actually going to use about 3 cups of this, and I don't really measure it out in cups. I kind of measure it out in handfuls. So 3 handfuls, and if I feel like it needs a little bit more, I'll probably add a 4th because it does shrink down. So no, I'm not using the whole bag. Okay, so that has been cooking, and it's all well incorporated, and it's really smelling really good in the house. And so now I'm going to add 3 handfuls, and I promise you it will shrink down. So you honestly just stir it a little bit and it will wilt with the mixture. You just kind of just keep your spoon going. I always like to use a wooden spoon. Anybody else like to use a wooden spoon for your cooking? And I promise you, this is a great way to fit in your spinach. If you don't like spinach, it's really good with it. And because we do like spinach, I'm going to add 1 more handful. So that looks like it's wilted really well. And now we're going to add the 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese to the top. Not mix it in, just put it on the top. And just let it melt. And if you want to have it melt faster, which I don't need to, I think it'll melt fine. Yeah, it's melting pretty good. If you wanted it to melt faster, you can put the lid on the pot, but it's going to melt pretty good. It's already melted, so. So as you can see, the cheese is all melted. Yum. And the last step, if you want to, is I take some green onions and sprinkle it all over the top. And now you have your 1-pot cheesy taco skillet, and you can serve it over rice. You can serve it in taco shells. You can serve it with a burrito as a burrito. You can pretty much serve it however you want. You can even serve it on some lettuce if you want to. And this is a 1-pot meal that we like to have at our house. And yes, you hear dogs barking, because that's what they do all day long. Alright, hope you enjoy. Good morning. Good morning. What are you doing? You want to get to your mama? Good morning. Hey, precious. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Good morning, Eliza. Good morning. Today we're going to make a very easy crock-pot recipe. It's just chicken and gravy. So let's get started. So simply you need 2 packs of chicken gravy mix, 1 can of cream of chicken soup. We're going to use the 98% fat-free to make it a little bit healthier, but you can use the regular. I use frozen chicken breasts, and yes, I put them in frozen, and I'll show you in a minute, or you can just use fresh, whatever you have in stock. And for seasonings, I use black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. That easy. I've already added the cream of chicken to the crock pot, and next we're going to add the gravy mix. So you simply just shake the gravy mix in. This is the chicken gravy mix. We're adding this 2nd packet. That's 2 packets. 1 can of cream of chicken and 2 packets of chicken gravy mix. Next, we're going to add 2 cups of water. 1 and 2. And next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and I'm going to add as much black pepper as I want. I like a good bit, so I'll probably add about a whole teaspoon of that too. And I'll show you what it's going to look like when we're done adding that and what we're going to do next. Okay, I've added the spices, and now I'm going to just simply take my whisk and I'm going to whisk this up. And I'm going to add 3 frozen chicken breasts. These are pretty large, so that's why I'm only adding 3. If they're small, I would add 4, but they are frozen because they will cook in the crock pot. So we'll add them on top of the gravy that's already been whisked. And just sit them there. Pretty easy. Now we're going to turn on our crock pot, and we're going to select low for 8 hours. And when it's done, we'll come back. Say good morning, Eliza. So the chicken's now been in the crock pot with the gravy for almost 8 hours. And see if it's ready. You just kind of take your fork, and if it pulls apart real easy, it falls apart like that. See how it's falling apart? Then it's ready. So I'm gonna take my fork and I'm gonna shred all this up, and then we're going to be finished with it. But I'll show you what it looks like after it's shredded. So now we have chicken and gravy. We're going to serve it over some egg noodles. You can serve it over rice. Some people might want to serve it over some biscuits, some southern biscuits, whatever you want to serve it over, you can. And it makes a simple comfort food meal. And this is the final product, the chicken and gravy over egg noodles and some sides of fresh vegetables. Delicious. For this recipe, we're going to make some healthy turkey chili in the crock pot. So I'm going to show you the ingredients, and then I'll show you the steps in making it. Okay, for this recipe, it calls for olive oil, 2 tablespoons, but just to make it a little bit lighter, I'm just going to use the olive oil spray, which on Weight Watchers Purple is 0. I'm also going to use ground turkey breast, 1 pound, 1 yellow onion chopped, some garlic. You can use fresh garlic, but I usually just use minced. That is a red pepper, 1 red pepper. I'm going to chop that up. Several spices, of course, salt, oregano, chili, some cayenne pepper, and some ground cumin. Also, we need some chicken broth, some frozen corn. The recipe calls for kidney beans, but we don't like kidney beans, so I'm going to substitute it for some Great Northern beans and some black beans. And you also need a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. So I've diced the yellow onion and the red bell pepper up, and I'm about to add it to this pan. In the pan, I have sprayed the olive oil spray. So I'm going to put the heat on medium, and I'm going to start sauteing these vegetables. And closer to around the 6-minute point, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic also. But I'm only going to cook the garlic for like 2 minutes. So about 8 minutes total of sauteing the vegetables with the garlic. And now we're adding 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic. I'm cooking that for about 2 more minutes, but stir it constantly. I'm going to actually lower my heat to low. I had it on medium earlier. But we're going to stir it constantly so the garlic doesn't burn, because you don't want burnt garlic. No. Now to this pan, I've added some ground turkey breast. I just put it right in there with the vegetables. And I'm just going to brown it until it's no longer pink. So the turkey is no longer pink, it's nice and cooked with the vegetables, and now it's time to start putting things in the crock pot. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our spices. So for the amounts, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of chili powder. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. We're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. And we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but after it's ready, you can add more if you need to, but I would stick with 1/2 teaspoon at first. So it's time to add all the spices to the crock pot. And if you see, we already have our turkey and vegetables in our crock pot, so let's go. So I've added all the spices, so they're going to be stirred in there really good. And then we're going to move on to the next ingredients. Next ingredient we add is a whole 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes with the juice and all. Just add it all to your crock pot and stir that up. Next, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of 98% fat-free chicken broth. This recipe calls for 2 cans of dark red kidney beans, but we don't like dark red kidney beans, so I took 1 can of Great Northern beans and 1 can of black beans, and I drained them and rinsed them, and I'm going to add them to the chili. And the last thing we're going to add is 1 12-ounce bag of whole kernel corn, and it is frozen, and I do add it frozen because it will cook throughout the day in the crock pot. Now that everything has been added and mixed together really well, I'm going to cook it probably for about 5 hours on low. That kind of incorporates the flavors really good into the turkey and just makes it a really good, great tasting chili. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. You know, eating healthy is not hard if you can do some research and just find out what works for you. So I hope you enjoy them. And like I asked before, if you could please give a thumbs up to this video. And if you like to see more recipes, just let us know. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day and journey on.